Chosen ones, God's voice is speaking directly to your spirit today, urging you not to ignore this crucial message. Something divine is stirring within you, a truth so powerful it's ready to break through the noise of your life. You're not here by chance. Your soul was drawn to this moment because God has something specific to say to you, something that will shift your path, awaken your purpose, and set your spirit ablaze with clarity. Stay with me, because this message is yours to claim. Your spirit is restless, isn't it? You've felt it, a quiet pull, a whisper in your heart that says there's more to your life than what you see. That's God calling you, chosen one. He's not shouting from the heavens or flashing signs in the sky. His voice is subtle, steady, like a current running deep beneath the surface. It's in the moments when you pause, when the world grows quiet, that you feel it most. That longing, that ache for something greater. It's not random. It's God reminding you who you are. You're not just another face in the crowd. You're marked, set apart, destined for a purpose that's bigger than you can imagine right now. This message isn't about chasing dreams or forcing change. It's about listening. God's speaking, but the world is loud. Bills, stress, doubts, distractions. They pile up, don't they? They try to drown out that still, small voice. But here's the truth. No noise can silence what God has placed in you. Your spirit was built to hear Him. It's like a radio tuned to a frequency only you can pick up. When you lean into that signal, when you let His words sink in, everything shifts. The chaos fades, the weight lifts. You start to see the path He's been carving for you all along. Right now, I need you to claim this moment. Pause, take a breath, and type 777 inches, the comments below. That number carries power. It's a declaration that you're ready to hear God's voice, ready to step into His truth. Don't skip this. It's not just a comment. It's a signal to the universe that you're open to what's coming. And trust me, something is coming. Something big. God's message to you today is about alignment. You've been walking through life, maybe feeling like pieces don't fit. Work feels off, relationships strain. Even your own thoughts sometimes feel like they're pulling you in circles. That's not failure, it's a sign. God's telling you it's time to realign your spirit with His plan. Think of a riverbed, carved over years to guide the water's flow. Your life has been shaped for a reason, but you've got to step into that current. Stop fighting the pull. Stop letting doubt block the way. God's already cleared the path. You just need to walk it. Look at Moses. He was a man who stuttered, doubted himself, felt unworthy. Yet God chose him to lead a nation. Why? Because Moses listened. He stood before that burning bush, not because he was perfect, but because he was willing to hear. You don't need to be flawless, chosen one. You just need to be present. God's not asking for your strength, He's asking for your attention. When you give Him that, He'll give you everything else: clarity, courage, purpose. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Listening to God's voice means facing truths you might not want to see. Maybe it's a habit you need to let go. Maybe it's a fear you've been carrying too long. Maybe it's forgiving someone who hurt you, or even forgiving yourself. Those are the weights God's asking you to release. They're heavy, but they're not your identity. You're not defined by what holds you back. You're defined by what God's calling you toward. And He's calling you to rise. Type 777 inches, the comments again. Let it be your stake in the ground, your way of saying, I hear you, God. I'm ready. This isn't about following a script. It's about stepping into a promise. When you do, you'll feel it, a shift, a spark. That's your spirit recognizing the truth it was made to hear. Let's talk about what's waiting for you when you listen. God's not just offering words, He's offering transformation. Picture a seed buried in dark soil. It doesn't look like much, small, hidden, forgotten. But beneath the surface, it's breaking open, reaching for light. That's you right now. The struggles, the doubts, the moments you've felt buried, they're not your end. They're your beginning. God's message is the sunlight breaking through, calling you to grow, to bloom, to become what you were always meant to be. This transformation isn't just spiritual, it's practical. When you align with God's voice, things start to move. Doors open, maybe a job, a connection, a new idea that lights you up. Your health shifts, you feel stronger, clearer, relationships heal, or you find the strength to walk away from what's toxic. This isn't about magic or overnight miracles. It's about God reordering your life, piece by piece, until it reflects His design. You'll see it in small ways. First, a conversation that feels divinely timed, a decision that brings unexpected peace. Those are God's fingerprints. Think of David, a shepherd boy, overlooked by everyone. But God saw him. God spoke to him, not with grand gestures, but with a quiet call to step into something bigger. David didn't become a king overnight. He faced giants, ran from danger, lived in caves. But he listened. Every step, every trial was God shaping him. You're in that same process, chosen one. The battles you're facing, they're not random. They're forging you into someone who can carry the weight of God's purpose. If this is hitting your spirit, don't just watch, act. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path together. Your support keeps this message alive, reaching others who need to hear it. And one more time, type 777 inches, the comments. Let it seal your commitment to this moment, to God's voice, to the transformation that's already started. God's message isn't just about what's coming, it's about who you're becoming. You're not just a listener, you're a vessel. His words don't just pass through you, they shape you. Every time you choose to hear Him, you're building something, a foundation, a legacy. You're becoming someone who doesn't just survive life, but changes it. Your presence shifts rooms, your choices ripple outward. That's what it means to be chosen. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to carry His light, even when it's heavy. Consider Esther. She was an orphan, a nobody by the world's standards. Yet God placed her in a palace, not for her own glory, but to save her people. She didn't seek that role. She didn't even know it was hers at first. But when the moment came, she listened, she acted, and her courage changed history. You're standing in your own such a time as this. God's speaking because He's preparing you for a moment only you can step into. Don't ignore it. Don't let fear or doubt talk you out of it. Your spirit was made for this. What's holding you back from fully hearing Him? Maybe it's the voice in your head saying you're not enough. Maybe it's the scars from past failures. Maybe it's the comfort of staying small, staying safe. But God's message today is clear. Those things don't own you. They're shadows, and shadows scatter when His light shines. You're not your mistakes. You're not your fears. You're His chosen, and His voice is calling you to step out of the dark. Let's talk about what happens when you ignore this message. It's not about punishment. God's not like that. But when you turn away from His voice, you're choosing to stay stuck. You're choosing the noise over the clarity, the chaos over the peace. Life will keep moving, but without His guidance, it's like walking blind. You'll stumble, not because he's against you, but because you're not letting him lead. Don't let that be your story. You're too important for that. Your purpose is too big. God's voice isn't just a sound, it's a force. It's the same voice that spoke the stars into existence, that parted seas, that raised the dead. When he speaks to you, it's not casual. It's creation. It's life. It's power. And right now, that power is aimed at your spirit, waking you up, pulling you forward. You feel it, don't you? That stirring, that sense that something's about to break wide open. That's not just emotion, it's God moving. Think of Jonah. God spoke, and Jonah ran. He thought he could outrun the voice, hide from the call. But God's voice doesn't let go. It followed Jonah into the storm, into the belly of a fish, until he finally listened. You don't need to go through that, chosen one. You can choose to hear him now. You can choose to step into the purpose he's laid out. The storm's not your destiny, the promise island. This message is your wake-up call. It's God saying, I see you, I know you, I've chosen you. Your spirit needs to hear this today, because the world needs you to step into who you are. You're not just living for yourself. Your life is a beacon, a signal to others that God's still moving, still speaking, still transforming. When you listen, you're not just changing your life, you're showing others what's possible. If you're feeling this, don't hold back. Hit that like button and subscribe to stand with thousands of chosen ones who are claiming their purpose. Your action keeps this message alive, spreading it to those who need it most. God's speaking, and he's not done yet. Your spirit's ready. Let's see where he takes you next. Your spirit isn't just hearing God's voice, it's responding. Every time you feel that pull, that quiet nudge, it's your soul saying, I'm ready. But readiness isn't enough. You've got to act. God's message today is a call to move, to step out, to trust that he's already laid the foundation. You're not starting from scratch. Every trial, every tear, every moment you thought you'd break it was all preparation. God's been building you for this. Think of a house under construction. The foundation's poured, the walls are up. But it's not a home until you step inside and make it yours. That's where you are now. God's laid the groundwork, your faith, your resilience, your heart. Now, he's asking you to walk through the door. It might feel risky. It might mean leaving behind what's familiar. But what's waiting on the other side is worth it. Peace, purpose, a life that reflects who you were always meant to be. Look at Abraham. God told him to leave everything, his home, his comfort, his known world, and go to a place he'd never seen. Abraham didn't have a map or a guarantee. He had a promise, and he moved. That's faith, not knowing the details, but trusting the one who spoke. You don't need to see the whole path, chosen one. You just need to take the next step. God's voice is your guide. What's your next step? Maybe it's praying with intention, not just words, but a real conversation with God. Maybe it's writing down what he's stirring in your heart. Maybe it's saying no to something that's been draining you, or yes to an opportunity that scares you. Whatever it is, do it. Don't let this moment pass. Your spirit's ready, and God's waiting. This message isn't just for today, it's for your future. God's voice doesn't fade. It grows louder as you lean in. Every time you choose to listen, you're building a life that's unshakable. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're not just existing, you're shining. That's what it means to be chosen. You carry his light, and no darkness can put it out. Think of the woman at the well. She was broken, shamed, cast aside. But Jesus spoke to her, saw her, called her out of her past. one conversation with him, and her life changed. She didn't just hear his voice, she ran with it, telling everyone she met. That's your call too. God's speaking to you so you can carry his truth to others. Your life is a testimony, and it's only just beginning. Don't ignore this. Your spirit's been waiting for this moment, this clarity. God's voice is alive, moving, reshaping you from the inside out. You're not the same person you were yesterday. You're stepping into something new, something divine. Let it happen. Let him lead. You're ready, chosen one. Your spirit's connection to God's voice isn't just personal. It's powerful. When you listen, you're not just changing your own life. You're shifting the atmosphere around you. People notice. They feel it. Your peace, your clarity, your strength, it draws them in. You're not just hearing God. You're reflecting him. That's what makes you a chosen one. You carry his presence, and it changes everything. Consider Paul. He was Saul, a man lost in his own agenda, until God's voice stopped him on that road to Damascus. One encounter, one moment of listening, and his entire life turned. He didn't just hear God, he became a vessel for God's message, carrying it to nations. You're not so different. God's speaking to you because he's got a mission for you. It might not be preaching to thousands, but it's just as big. It's your life, lived fully, fearlessly. For him, what's stopping you from stepping into that mission? Maybe it's the fear of failing. Maybe it's the weight of what others think. Maybe it's the lie that you're not ready. But God's voice cuts through all of that. He's saying, "You are enough. I chose you. I'm with you." When you let those words sink in, they become your strength. They become your shield. Nothing can stand against you when you're walking in his truth. This is your moment, chosen one. God's speaking, and your spirit's listening. Don't let doubt or distraction steal this from you. His voice is your compass, your anchor, your fire. Lean into it. Let it guide you. You're not just hearing a message, you're stepping into a destiny, and it's waiting for you right now. Your spirit's been stirred because God's message is alive in you. It's not just words. It's a spark, a flame that's growing stronger the more you listen. You've felt it before, those moments when something clicks, when a truth hits you so hard it feels like it's always been part of you. That's God. He's not just speaking to your mind, he's speaking to your core, to the part of you that's eternal. And he's saying, now's the time. Think of Elijah. He stood alone on a mountain, waiting for God. The wind roared, the earth shook, fire fell, but God wasn't in those things. He was in the still, small voice. That's where you find him now. Not in the chaos, not in the noise, but in the quiet moments when you let your spirit listen. And when you hear him, everything changes. Your fears shrink, your purpose grows. You see the world through his eyes, and it's beautiful. What does it look like to live in that truth? It's not about perfection. It's about showing up. It's praying when you don't feel like it. It's trusting when you can't see the way. It's choosing to believe that God's got you, even when life feels heavy. Every step you take in faith is a step toward the life he's promised, a life of purpose, peace, and power. If this message is moving you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones who are walking this journey. Your support spreads this truth further, touching lives that need it. God's not done speaking, and you're not done growing. Keep listening, keep moving, keep shining. Your spirit's ready for what's next. God's voice isn't just a call, it's a current pulling you toward your destiny. You've felt it, haven't you? That sense that you're meant for more, that your life has a purpose bigger than what you see. That's not wishful thinking. That's God. He's been weaving this plan through every moment of your life, every high and low. The struggles you've faced, they weren't accidents. They were training grounds, shaping you into someone who can carry his light into places others can't go. Look at Joseph, sold by his brothers, imprisoned, forgotten, yet God's voice never left him. Through every betrayal, every dark night, God was speaking, preparing him for a moment no one saw coming. From a pit to a palace, Joseph's life wasn't random, it was divine. Your story's no different. The hardships, the waiting, the moments you felt invisible, they're all part of God's design. He's speaking through them, calling you to rise. What's he saying to you today? Maybe it's to trust him with that dream you've buried. Maybe it's to let go of a grudge that's holding you back. Maybe it's to take a step you've been avoiding, knowing he's got your back. Whatever it is, don't ignore it. His voice is your guide, and it's leading you to a life that's fuller, freer than anything you've known. Your spirit's ready to respond. You feel it, that fire, that certainty. God's not just speaking, he's moving, and he's moving through you. Step into it, chosen one. The world's waiting to see what happens when you listen. God's voice is a lifeline, chosen one, pulling you out of the shadows and into the light of who you're meant to be. It's not just a sound, it's a force, steady and unshakable, that cuts through the fog of your doubts. You've been in moments where life felt like a maze, haven't you? Every turn seemed to lead to another wall, another question. But his voice is the map, guiding you through. It's telling you now to keep moving, to trust the path even when it's unclear. Your spirit's tuned to it, ready to follow. Think of Noah, building an ark in the middle of dry land. People laughed, mocked, called him crazy. But God's voice was his anchor. He didn't need the world's approval. He had a promise. Every nail he hammered, every board he laid, was an act of faith in what God spoke. You're building something too, chosen one. Maybe it's a dream, a family, a legacy. It might not make sense to others yet, but God's voice is clear. Keep going. Your work isn't in vain. What's it like to live with that kind of trust? It's not about having all the answers. It's about knowing the one who does. Noah didn't see the rain coming, but he heard God's voice and acted. You don't need to see the whole picture either, just the next step. Maybe it's a small choice today, like reaching out to someone or starting something new. Maybe it's letting go of a worry that's been choking your peace. Whatever it is, God's voice is guiding you. Listen and move. Your spirit's not just hearing, it's awakening. God's words are like sparks, igniting something deep inside you. You've felt it before, that moment when a truth hits and suddenly everything makes sense. That's him, stirring your soul, reminding you that you're not ordinary. You're chosen for a reason, and that reason is unfolding right now. Don't let the world's noise drown it out. Tune in and let his voice lead you to what's next. This message is alive, chosen one, because God's voice doesn't sit still. It moves, it shapes, it creates. When he speaks, things happen. Look at creation itself. He spoke, and light broke through the void. That same power is at work in you. Your life isn't random. It's a canvas, and God's voice is the brush, painting a story only you can live. Every time you listen, you're adding a new stroke, a new color, to a masterpiece that's still unfolding. Consider Mary, the mother of Jesus, a young girl, ordinary by all accounts, yet God's voice found her. You are favored, he said. She could have doubted, could have run from the weight of it, but she listened. She said yes, and that yes changed the world. Your yes matters too. When God speaks, He's inviting you into something bigger than yourself. It might feel daunting, but it's also your privilege. Your spirit was made to carry this. What's God asking of you today? Maybe it's to speak up where you've been silent. Maybe it's to rest when you've been pushing too hard. Maybe it's to trust Him with something you've been holding too tightly. His voice isn't vague, it's specific, personal, meant for you. When you lean into it, you'll find clarity. Not the kind that answers every question, but the kind that gives you peace to keep walking. Type 777 inches the comments now. It's your way of saying, I'm listening, God. I'm in. It's a small act, but it's powerful. A declaration that you're ready for His voice to lead. Don't skip it. Let it mark this moment as yours, a moment where you choose to hear and act. God's voice doesn't just guide, it protects. You've been through storms, haven't you? Times when life felt like it was trying to break you. But here you are, still standing. That's not luck. That's God. His voice was there, even when you didn't recognize it, whispering strength, holding you up. Now, He's speaking louder, telling you to stand tall. The storms didn't win, and they never will. You're built for this, chosen one. Think of Daniel in the lion's den. He didn't beg for rescue or fight the beasts. He stood in faith, trusting God's voice over the roars around him. And God shut the lions' mouths. Whatever you're facing, fear, loss, uncertainty, God's voice is stronger. It's your shield, your refuge. When you listen, you're not just hearing words, you're stepping into His protection. No weapon formed against you can prosper when you're aligned with Him. What does that protection look like? It's not always a dramatic rescue. Sometimes it's the peace that holds you steady when everything's falling apart. Sometimes it's the wisdom to avoid a trap you didn't see coming. Sometimes it's the strength to walk through fire and come out untouched. God's voice is your armor, and it's unbreakable. Lean into it, and you'll see how it guards your spirit. Your life is a testimony, chosen one. Every time you choose to hear God, you're showing the world what faith looks like. You're not just surviving, you're thriving, shining, becoming. People see it, they feel it. Your presence carries His voice, and it's changing things. Don't underestimate that. You're not just living for you, you're a light for others, a proof that God's still speaking, still moving. God's voice is also a promise. He doesn't speak just to fill the silence. He speaks to build your future. Every word He gives you is a seed, planted in your spirit, ready to grow into something real. You've got dreams, don't you? Things you've hoped for, prayed for, maybe even given up on. God's voice is saying, they're not dead. Those dreams are still alive, waiting for you to trust Him enough to water them with faith. Look at Sarah, Abraham's wife. She laughed when God promised her a son. Her dream seemed impossible. But God's voice wasn't bound by her doubts or her age. He spoke, and Isaac was born. Your dreams aren't too big, too old, or too far gone. God's voice is the guarantee that what He's promised will come to pass. Your job is to listen, to believe, to keep moving toward what He's shown you. What's one dream you've been holding on to? Maybe it's a career shift, a healed relationship, a new beginning. Write it down. After this, speak it out. Let God's voice breathe life into it. His words aren't empty. They carry power to make things happen. When you align your spirit with His voice, you're not just hoping, you're stepping into a reality He's already prepared. This isn't about chasing miracles, it's about living in them. God's voice turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Your daily choices, your small acts of faith, they're not small in His eyes. Every time you listen, you're building a life that reflects His glory. You're not just a person, you're a purpose, a plan, a promise made flesh. That's what it means to be chosen. God's voice also calls you to rest. Not the kind where you do nothing, but the kind where you trust Him enough to stop striving. You've been carrying so much, haven't you? Responsibilities, worries, expectations. His voice is saying, lay them down. Not because they don't matter, but because He's got them. You don't have to fight every battle alone. His voice is your invitation to peace, to a rhythm that sustains you instead of draining you. Think of Jesus in the storm. His disciples were panicking, rowing against the wind while He slept. Why? Because He knew His Father's voice was stronger than the waves. When He spoke, the storm stopped. That's the power you're tapped into. When you hear God, you can rest, even in chaos. You can trust, even when the world's screaming at you to panic. His voice is your calm. What would it look like to rest in Him today? Maybe it's turning off your phone for an hour and just listening. Maybe it's saying no to one more task that's pulling you from His presence. Maybe it's trusting Him with a problem you can't solve. His voice is your safe place, chosen one. Step into it and let the weight fall off. Your spirit's not just listening, it's growing. Every time you hear God, you're becoming more of who He created you to be. It's like a sculptor chipping away at stone, revealing the masterpiece inside. You're not perfect, and you don't need to be. You're His, and that's enough. His voice is shaping you, refining you, preparing you for what's ahead. Trust the process. Trust Him. God's voice is also a challenge. It's not always soft or comforting. It's a fire that pushes you to move, to grow, to act. He's not calling you to stay comfortable. He's calling you to step into the unknown, to take risks for His sake. You've felt it, haven't you? That nudge to do something bold, something that scares you. That's Him, telling you it's time to rise, to stretch, to become more. Look at Peter. He was just a fisherman until Jesus called him to walk on water. That call wasn't safe. It was wild, impossible by human standards. But Peter stepped out because he heard the voice. You're being called too, chosen one. Maybe not to walk on water, but to something just as bold. A new venture, a hard conversation, a leap of faith. His voice is your courage. Don't ignore it. What's the bold thing God's asking of you? Don't shy away from it. Name it. Face it. His voice isn't just a guide, it's a power source. When you move with Him, you're unstoppable. The world might see a risk, but you see a promise. Step out and watch what He does through you. Your life is a story, chosen one, and God's voice is the author. Every chapter, every twist, every moment of doubt or triumph, it's all part of His plan. You're not reading from someone else's script. This is your story, written by the one who knows you best. His voice is the thread that ties it all together, turning your struggles into strength, your pain into purpose. Think of Ruth, a widow, a foreigner, with nothing to her name. But God's voice led her to a field, to a man named Boaz, to a legacy that would echo through generations. She didn't see it coming, but she followed. You don't see the full picture either, but you don't need to. His voice is enough. It's leading you to fields you can't yet imagine, to blessings you're only beginning to glimpse. What's the next page of your story? Maybe it's a season of rebuilding. Maybe it's a moment of breakthrough. Whatever it is, God's voice is writing it. Trust the author. Keep listening. Your spirit's ready, and the best chapters are still ahead. God's voice is your compass, chosen one, pointing you toward a horizon only He can see. You've been walking through fog, haven't you? Moments where the way forward felt blurry, where decisions loomed heavy. But his voice cuts through that haze, clear and steady, like a lighthouse calling you home. It's not about knowing every step, it's about trusting the one who does. Your spirit's tuned to him, ready to follow where he leads. Think of Gideon, a man hiding in fear, threshing wheat in secret. God's voice found him, called him mighty, even when he felt small. Gideon didn't see himself as a warrior, but God did. That's what's happening to you. God's voice sees what you can't yet see in yourself. He's calling you to stand, to lead, to be more than your doubts. His words aren't just encouragement, they're a command to rise into who you were made to be. What does it mean to follow that call? It's not about grand gestures. Sometimes it's the small choices, saying yes to a prompting, forgiving a slight, or taking time to pray when you're tired. Those moments stack up, building a life aligned with his purpose. Gideon started small, tearing down an altar in the dark, but each step led to victory. Your steps matter too. God's voice is guiding them. Your spirit's not just following, it's igniting. Every word from God is fuel, setting your heart ablaze with purpose. You've felt it, those moments when a truth hits so deep, it changes how you see everything. That's him, reshaping your perspective, showing you the world through his eyes. You're not bound by what others expect. You're free to walk the path he set, and it's leading somewhere extraordinary. God's voice is also your strength, chosen one. Life's thrown challenges at you, moments that tested your core, but his voice was there, steady in the storm, giving you the grit to keep going. It's not your own power holding you up, it's his. He's speaking resilience into your bones, courage into your heart. When you listen, you're not just surviving, you're standing taller than you ever thought possible. Look at Nehemiah, rebuilding Jerusalem's walls while enemies mocked and plotted. God's voice gave him focus, kept him steady. Every brick he laid was an act of faith, a response to what God spoke. You're building something too, a dream, a family, a future. The world might try to tear it down, but God's voice is your blueprint. Keep building. His words will hold it together. What's the wall you're rebuilding? Maybe it's trust after betrayal. Maybe it's hope after loss. Maybe it's a vision you thought was broken. God's voice is telling you to pick up the next brick, to keep going. It's not about speed, it's about persistence. His words are your foundation, and they're unshakable. Lean into them and watch what rises. Type 777 inches the comments now. It's your way of saying, I'm building, God, I hear you. It's a marker, a moment where you claim his voice as your guide. Don't let it pass. Let it anchor you to this truth, to the strength he's pouring into you. God's voice is your clarity, chosen one. Life can feel like a tangle of choices, each one pulling you in a different direction. But his voice cuts through the mess, showing you what matters. It's like a lens, bringing everything into focus. You don't need to figure it all out on your own. He's already got the answers. Your job is to listen and trust. Think of Samuel, a boy who heard God's voice in the night. He didn't understand at first, but he learned to say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." That openness changed his life, made him a prophet, a leader. You're in that same place, God's speaking, waiting for you to respond. It might be a whisper, a nudge, a feeling you can't shake. Don't dismiss it. It's him, calling you to something greater. How do you respond? Start simple. Ask him to speak. Sit in silence, even for a minute, and let your spirit listen. Write down what comes to mind, a word, a picture, a step. God's voice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's a quiet knowing, but it's always true. When you act on it, you'll see the path clear, one choice at a time. Your spirit's not just receiving, it's aligning. Every time you hear God, you're stepping closer to His rhythm, His timing. It's like a dance, where He leads and you follow. You've been out of step before, haven't you? Trying to force your own way, only to stumble. But His voice brings you back, sets your feet right. You're learning His pace, and it's perfect. God's voice is also your freedom. You've carried chains, maybe guilt, shame, or fear of what others think. His voice breaks them. He's not here to judge you. He's here to set you free. When He speaks, it's not condemnation, it's liberation. He's saying, you're not your past, you're not your mistakes, you're mine, and I've got plans for you. Look at the woman caught in adultery. The crowd wanted to stone her, but Jesus spoke, and His words stopped them cold. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone. His voice freed her, gave her a new start. That's what He's doing for you. Whatever's been holding you down, His voice is stronger. It's telling you to stand up, to walk free, to live without shame. What chain is God breaking for you today? Name it. Speak it out in prayer. Let His voice shatter it. You're not bound anymore. His words are your key. Step into that freedom and don't look back. You're not who you were. You're who He's calling you to be. If this is speaking to your spirit, don't hold back. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones claiming their freedom. Your support keeps this message alive, reaching others who need to hear God's voice. You're not alone in this. Your light is part of a bigger fire. God's voice is your vision, chosen one. It's not just about hearing, it's about seeing. He's showing you what's possible, what's waiting. You've had moments where a dream flickered in your mind, haven't you? A glimpse of something bigger, a life, a purpose, a legacy. That's God, painting a picture of your future. His voice isn't just sound, it's a window into what He's prepared for you. Think of Isaiah, who saw God's glory in a vision that changed him forever. I saw the Lord, high and lifted up. That moment wasn't just for him, it was for a nation, a world. God's voice showed him His calling, and it's showing you yours. You're not meant to drift through life. You're meant to see it, to chase it, to live it. His voice is your guide to that vision. What's He showing you? Maybe it's a new direction, a project, a way to serve. Maybe it's a picture of peace you haven't felt in years. Don't push it away. Let His voice draw it clearer. Write it down, pray over it. Take one step toward it. His vision for you is real, and it's closer than you think. Your spirit's not just seeing, it's believing. God's voice plants faith in you, the kind that moves mountains. You've doubted before, haven't you? Wondered if you're enough, if His promises are true. But His voice is stronger than your doubts. It's saying, I've chosen you. I'm with you. It's possible. Lean into that and watch your faith grow. God's voice is also your anchor, chosen one. Life's waves can hit hard loss, change, uncertainty. But His voice holds you steady. It's not a feeling that comes and goes. It's a truth that stands firm. When everything else shifts, His words remain. They're your rock, your safe place, your reason to keep going. Look at Job, who lost everything, family, wealth, health. Yet God's voice came to him, not with answers, but with presence. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? God asked. That wasn't a rebuke. It was a reminder. God's bigger than the pain. His voice gave Job strength to endure, and it's giving you strength now. Whatever you're facing, His words are your foundation. What's trying to shake you? A fear, a failure, a loss. Bring it to God. Let His voice anchor you. Speak his promises over your life out loud if you have to. They're true, and they're yours. When you stand on them, nothing can move you. Your spirit's not just standing, it's soaring. God's voice lifts you above the noise, above the pain. You're not bound to the ground anymore. You're rising, becoming, shining. His words are wings, carrying you to places you never thought you'd go. Trust them, trust him. Your journey's just beginning. God's voice is your fire, chosen one, burning away what no longer serves you. It's not just a sound, it's a blaze, refining your spirit, clearing the clutter of fear and doubt. You've carried things too long, haven't you? Old wounds, regrets, voices that told you you're not enough. His voice is stronger, hotter, consuming those lies and leaving only truth. You're not what you've lost. You're what he's building, and his fire is making you new. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, standing in a furnace that should have destroyed them. God's voice didn't just protect them, it walked with them through the flames. They came out untouched, not even smelling of smoke. That's what his voice does for you. It doesn't just shield you. It transforms the fire itself into a place of victory. Your trials aren't here to burn you, they're here to reveal your strength. What's the fire in your life right now? A struggle, a fear, a situation that feels too hot to handle. God's voice is speaking through it, telling you to stand firm. You're not alone in the flames. He's with you, turning what was meant to destroy you into a testimony. Listen to him and walk through. You'll come out stronger, shining, untouched by the heat. Your spirit's not just enduring, it's blazing. God's voice is kindling something unstoppable in you, a passion that lights up the dark. You've felt it, those moments when you know you're meant for more, when your heart burns with purpose. That's him, stoking the fire inside you, calling you to shine brighter than you ever thought possible. Don't dim it, let it burn. God's voice is also your map, chosen one, charting a course through the unknown. Life can feel like a wilderness, paths twisting, no clear way forward. But his voice is a guide, whispering directions when you're lost. It's not about seeing the whole journey. It's about trusting the one who knows the way. Your spirit's ready to follow, to step into the adventure he's planned. Look at the Israelites, wandering 40 years in the desert. God's voice came as a pillar of cloud by day, fire by night. It didn't give them every detail, but it gave them enough to move. You don't need the full map either, just the next step. His voice is your direction, your certainty. Maybe it's a nudge to start something new, to forgive, to rest. Whatever it is, trust it. He's leading you somewhere good. What's your wilderness? A season of waiting, a choice you're unsure of? God's voice is there, guiding you through. Listen for it in the quiet moments, when you pray, when you're still. It's there, clear as a beacon, showing you the way. Take the step. His voice won't let you fall. If this is stirring your spirit, don't hold back. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones walking this path. Your support spreads this fire, reaching others who need to hear God's voice. You're part of something bigger, and your light matters. God's voice is your song, chosen one, a melody that runs through your soul. It's not just words, it's music, harmonizing with your spirit, lifting you above the noise. You've heard it before, haven't you? In moments of joy, in quiet nights, a rhythm that feels like home. That's him, singing over you, calling you to join the song of your purpose. Your life's meant to carry that melody. Think of Miriam, dancing and singing after the Red Sea parted. God's voice led her people to freedom, and she responded with a song of praise. Your life's a song too, not always loud, but always true. Every choice you make, every step you take, adds to the music. His voice is the tune, guiding your rhythm. Don't be afraid to sing it out, to live it boldly. What's your song today? Maybe it's gratitude for a small win. Maybe it's courage to face a challenge. Maybe it's love poured out to someone who needs it. Let God's voice shape the notes. Let it flow through you. Your spirit's ready to dance, to move with His melody. Don't hold back, let the world hear it. Your spirit's not just singing, it's resonating. God's voice vibrates through you, aligning every part of your being with His purpose. You've felt out of tune before, haven't you? Moments when life felt flat, off-key. But His voice brings you back, sets the pitch, makes you whole. You're not just living, you're creating a symphony, one note at a time. God's voice is also your mirror, chosen one, reflecting who you really are. The world tries to define you by your mistakes, your status, your past, but His voice shows you the truth. You're His, chosen, loved, destined for greatness. When you listen, you see yourself clearly, not as the world sees you, but as He does. That reflection changes everything. Look at Jeremiah, called to be a prophet before he was born. He thought he was too young, too weak, but God's voice said, "I've set you apart." That truth reshaped him, gave him courage to speak. You're being reshaped too. His voice is showing you your strength, your worth. You're not small, you're not broken. You're His masterpiece, and He's calling you to see it. What's the lie you've believed about yourself? That you're not enough? That your dreams are too big? Let God's voice be your mirror. Look into it. See the truth. You're chosen, equipped, ready. His words don't just comfort, they reveal. Step into that reflection and live from it. You'll never see yourself the same way again. Your spirit's not just seeing, it's becoming. God's voice is molding you, shaping you into someone who doesn't just hear but lives His truth. Every time you listen, you're stepping closer to the person He created you to be. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. His voice is your guide, your sculptor, your light. Keep looking, keep listening, keep growing. God's voice is your weapon, chosen one, sharper than any sword. It's not about fighting with anger or force, it's about standing in truth. Life throws battles at you, doubt, fear, opposition, but His voice cuts through, clean and true, disarming what tries to hold you back. When you speak His words, when you live them, nothing can stand against you. Think of Deborah, a judge and prophetess, leading Israel with God's voice as her guide. She didn't wield a sword in battle, but her words carried power. She spoke, and armies moved. You've got that same power. His voice in you is a force, moving mountains, breaking barriers. Whatever you're facing, speak His truth over it. It's your strongest weapon. What's the battle in front of you? A fear that won't let go. A situation that feels impossible. God's voice is your blade. Declare His promises out loud, in prayer, in faith. They're not just words, they're power. They shift things, change things. Wield them and watch what happens. Your spirit's ready to fight, and His voice is your strength. Your spirit's not just fighting, it's winning. God's voice doesn't just equip you, it assures your victory. You've been knocked down before, but you're still here. That's not chance, that's Him. His voice is carrying you through, turning every battle into a step toward triumph. You're not defined by what you face, you're defined by what you overcome. God's voice is also your invitation, chosen one, calling you to a table prepared just for you. He's not just speaking, He's welcoming you into His plans, His abundance. You've felt left out before, haven't you? Like the world's feast wasn't for you. But God's voice says, "You belong here." He's set a place for you, filled with purpose, joy, and blessing. All you have to do is sit down. Look at Mephibosheth, crippled and forgotten, living in exile. King David called him to the royal table, not because of his strength, but because of a promise. God's calling you too, not because you've earned it, but because you're His. His voice is your invitation to a life you didn't think you deserved. Take your seat. The table's ready, and it's yours. What's keeping you from that table? Shame, fear, the sense you're not worthy? God's voice is louder. He's saying, "Come as you are." You don't need to fix yourself first. His invitation is your worth. Step into it, and let His voice show you the abundance waiting. Your spirit's ready to feast, to rest, to receive. God's voice is your anchor in the storm, chosen one, holding you steady when life tries to sweep you away. You've felt the winds, haven't you? Moments when everything seemed to spin out of control, loss, change, uncertainty crashing in. But His voice is unmoved, a rock-solid truth that keeps you grounded. It's not about avoiding the storm. It's about standing firm in it, knowing He's speaking you through. Think of Paul and Silas, locked in a prison, chains on their wrists. The world saw them as defeated, but God's voice sang in their hearts. They praised Him in the dark, and the ground shook. Doors flew open. That's what His voice does for you. It shakes what binds you, sets you free. Your struggles aren't the end, they're the stage for His power. Listen, and let His voice break your chains. What's your prison right now? A situation that feels hopeless, a fear that locks you in. God's voice is your key. Sing His truth, pray it, speak it. It's not just words, it's freedom. His voice doesn't just comfort, it moves mountains. Trust it, and watch the walls around you tremble. Your spirit's ready to walk out, unshackled. Your spirit's not just standing, it's rising. God's voice lifts you above the chaos, giving you strength to soar where others falter. You've felt it, those moments when His words spark courage you didn't know you had. That's Him, calling you to higher ground, to a place where storms can't touch you. Don't stay low. Let His voice carry you up. God's voice is also your compass, chosen one, pointing you true when the world pulls you off course. Life's full of voices, opinions, doubts, distractions, each one trying to steer you, but His voice is different. It's clear, unwavering, cutting through the noise like a signal in the dark. You're not lost when you listen to Him. Your spirit's tuned to His direction, ready to move. Look at Philip, sent by God's voice to a desert road. No explanation, just a call to go. He obeyed and found a man ready to hear truth, a life changed forever. That's what happens when you follow His voice. It leads you to moments that matter, to people and places you're meant to touch. You don't need the why, just the where. His voice is enough. What's He pointing you toward? A conversation, a choice, a new path? Don't overthink it. Listen and go. His voice isn't just guidance, it's purpose. It's leading you to moments that will ripple beyond what you see. Trust it and take the step. Your spirit's ready to follow where He leads. If this is moving you, don't keep it quiet. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones walking this journey. Your support spreads this truth, lighting up lives that need to hear God's voice. You're not just listening, you're part of a movement. God's voice is your light, chosen one, shining in the places you've kept hidden. You've got shadows, don't you? Corners of your heart you don't like to look at, fears, regrets, things you've buried. His voice doesn't shy away. It steps into those places, gentle but bold, showing you there's nothing to fear. You're not defined by what's broken, you're defined by his light. Think of Zacchaeus, up in that tree, hiding from the crowd. He thought he was invisible, unworthy. But Jesus saw him, called him by name. That voice changed everything, turned a tax collector into a son of God. That's what his voice does for you. It sees you, names you, calls you out of hiding. You're not your past. You're his, and his light is making you whole. What's in your shadows? A mistake you can't let go, a fear that holds you back. Let God's voice shine there. Speak his truth over it, pray it, believe it. His words don't just reveal, they heal. They're showing you who you really are. Chosen, loved, radiant. Step into that light and let it change you. Your spirit's not just healing, it's glowing. God's voice is turning your wounds into wisdom, your pain into power. You've felt it, those moments when his words make you feel alive, seen. That's him, polishing you into something that shines. You're not meant to stay hidden. His voice is calling you to glow, to light up the world around you. God's voice is also your rhythm, chosen one, setting the pace for your life. The world's always rushing, isn't it? Pushing you to move faster, do more, be more. But his voice has a different beat, steady, intentional, alive. It's not about speed, it's about alignment. When you move with him, every step feels right. Every moment carries purpose. Look at the disciples, fishing all night, catching nothing. Jesus spoke, told them to cast their nets one more time. They listened, and their nets overflowed. His voice set the rhythm, turned their failure into abundance. That's what he's doing for you, setting the pace for a life that flows, that bears fruit. You're not chasing, you're moving with him. What's your rhythm? Are you rushing, or are you listening? Slow down and let his voice set the pace. Maybe it's a moment of rest, a bold move, a quiet prayer. Whatever it is, his rhythm is perfect. Follow it and watch your life fall into place, step by step. Your spirit's not just moving, it's dancing. God's voice is the music, guiding your steps, filling your soul with joy. You've felt out of step before, haven't you? Trying to keep up with the world's tempo, but his voice brings you back, aligns you with a beat that's yours alone. You're not stumbling anymore. You're moving with grace. God's voice is your call to action, chosen one, stirring you to do what only you can do. It's not just about hearing, it's about responding. You've got a purpose, a role, a mission that's uniquely yours. His voice isn't passive, it's a spark, urging you to move, to create, to change things. Your spirit's ready to answer, to make a mark. Think of Esther, standing before a king to save her people. God's voice didn't just comfort her, it pushed her to act. She wasn't ready, didn't feel qualified, but his voice gave her courage to step up. You're in that moment too. His voice is calling you to do something bold, something that matters. You don't need to feel ready, just willing. What's he asking you to do? Speak truth, start something, help someone. Don't wait for perfection. His voice is your signal to move. It's not about having it all figured out, it's about trusting him to guide you through. Act and watch how he makes a way. Your spirit's ready to rise to the call. Your spirit's not just acting, it's transforming. God's voice doesn't just push you, it reshapes you. Every step you take in faith, every response to his call, makes you stronger, clearer, more like him. You're not just doing, you're becoming. His voice is molding you into a force, a light, a vessel for his glory. God's voice is also your peace, chosen one. a calm that holds you when the world shakes. You've known chaos, haven't you? Days when worry took over, when the future felt like a storm. But his voice is different. It's steady, soothing, like a river that runs deep. It doesn't promise no trouble. It promises he's with you through it. Your spirit's ready to rest in that peace. Look at Jesus, sleeping on a boat while waves raged. His disciples panicked, but he knew his Father's voice was stronger than the storm. When he spoke, the wind stopped. That's what his voice does for you. It calms the chaos, brings order to your heart. Whatever's raging around you, his voice is your anchor. Listen and let it settle you. What's stealing your peace? A worry? A conflict? A question with no answer? Bring it to his voice. Speak his promises, pray his truth. It's not about ignoring the storm, it's about knowing he's bigger. His voice is your calm, your center. Rest in it and watch the waves still. Your spirit's not just resting, it's thriving. God's voice fills you with a peace that doesn't fade, a strength that doesn't waver. You've felt it, those moments when his words make everything clear, when fear loses its grip. That's him, pouring life into you, making you whole. You're not just surviving, you're living fully, freely in his peace. God's voice is your spark, chosen one, igniting a fire in your soul that nothing can extinguish. You've felt the weight of routine, haven't you? Days that blur together, moments that feel small. But his voice breaks through, a flash of light that wakes you up, reminding you that your life is meant for more. It's not just a call, it's a charge, electrifying your spirit, pushing you to live boldly. You're not here to drift, you're here to burn bright. Think of Elisha, watching Elijah ascend in a chariot of fire. God's voice didn't just speak, it set his path ablaze. He took up the mantle, not because he felt ready, but because he heard the call. That's what's happening to you. His voice is handing you a mantle, a purpose that's yours to carry. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to let his spark light your way. What's the mantle he's giving you? Maybe it's a dream you've set aside, a gift you've ignored, a step you've been afraid to take. His voice is saying, pick it up. It's yours, chosen one, and it's time to carry it. Don't wait for the moment to feel right. His spark is enough, let it ignite you. Your spirit's ready to blaze a trail. Your spirit's not just burning, it's radiating. God's voice is fanning the flames, turning your passion into power. You've felt it, those moments when his words make you feel alive, unstoppable. That's him, fueling you to shine in ways you never imagined. Don't hide that light. Let it glow. Let it draw others. Let it change the world around you. God's voice is also your bridge, chosen one, connecting you to places and people you're meant to reach. Life can feel like a chasm, sometimes gaps, between where you are and where you want to be. But his voice spans that divide, guiding you across. It's not about forcing your way. It's about trusting the path he's built. Your spirit's ready to cross, to step into new territory. Look at Ruth, leaving her homeland to follow Naomi. God's voice didn't give her a map, but it led her to a field, to Boaz, to a legacy that changed history. His voice was her bridge, connecting her to a future she couldn't see. You've got bridges too, opportunities, relationships, moments waiting for you. His voice is showing you the way. Trust it and step forward. What's the gap you're facing? A dream that feels out of reach, a relationship that needs healing. God's voice is your bridge, sturdy and sure. Listen for it in prayer, in stillness, in the small nudges. It's leading you to the other side, to a place of promise. Take the first step and watch the path unfold. Your spirit's not just crossing, it's arriving. God's voice is guiding you to places prepared just for you, where your purpose fits perfectly. You've felt lost before, haven't you? Wandering, unsure if you belong, but His voice is bringing you home to a life that feels right, that flows. You're not just moving, you're stepping into destiny. God's voice is your shield, chosen one, guarding you from what tries to dim your light. The world throws arrows, criticism, doubt, fear, but His voice is stronger, deflecting every hit. You've taken blows, haven't you? Moments when you wondered if you could keep going. His voice says, you can. It's not just protection, it's power, arming you to stand tall no matter what comes. Think of David facing Goliath. The giant's taunts were loud, but God's voice was louder, steady in David's heart. He didn't need armor, just faith in what God spoke. You don't need the world's armor either. His voice is your shield, blocking the lies that say you're not enough. Pick up your stones, chosen one, and face your giants. His voice has already won the fight. What's your Goliath? A fear, a failure, a voice that says you'll never make it? God's voice is your defense. Speak His truth over it, pray it, declare it. It's not about fighting harder, it's about standing in His strength. His words are your armor, and they're unbreakable. Step into the battle, and know you're covered. Your spirit's not just shielded, it's fortified. God's voice is building you up, layer by layer, making you stronger than you know. You've survived things that should have broken you, haven't you? That's Him, reinforcing your core with His words. You're not fragile, you're forged. His voice is your strength, and it's carrying you through. God's voice is also your compass, chosen one, guiding you through the fog of choices. Life's full of crossroads, isn't it? Paths that pull you in different directions, each one whispering its own promise. But His voice is true north, cutting through the confusion, pointing you where you're meant to go. You don't need to guess, His words light the way. Look at Jonah, running from God's call. He thought he could choose his own path, but God's voice found him, even in the belly of a fish. It wasn't punishment, it was redirection. You're being redirected too, chosen one. His voice is gently, firmly, bringing you back to the path that's yours. Don't fight it. Listen and let it guide you. What's the crossroad you're at? A decision about work, love, faith? God's voice is your clarity. Ask Him to speak through prayer, through His word, through the quiet moments. His direction isn't vague, it's specific, tailored to you. Follow it, and you'll find the path that leads to life. If this is resonating, don't stay silent. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones finding their way. Your support keeps this message alive, reaching hearts that need God's voice. You're not just hearing, you're helping others hear too. God's voice is your home, chosen one, a place where your spirit finds rest. You've wandered, haven't you, searching for where you belong, chasing things that left you empty. But His voice is calling you back to a place where you're known, loved, whole. It's not a building or a city, it's His presence, and it's always with you. Think of the prodigal son, lost in a far-off land, wasting his life, but his father's voice never stopped calling, waiting for him to return. When he did, he found open arms, a feast, a home. That's what God's voice is for you. A welcome, a restoration. You're not too far gone. His voice is saying, "Come home." Where have you wandered? Chasing approval, success, something to fill the void. God's voice is your way back. Sit with Him, listen, let His words wrap around you. They're not just guidance, they're belonging. Your spirit's ready to rest, to find peace in the only home that lasts. Your spirit's not just resting, it's renewing. God's voice is washing away the weariness, filling you with life. You've felt drained before, haven't you? Like the world took more than you could give, but His voice restores, refreshes, makes you new. You're not running on empty anymore. You're overflowing with His presence. God's voice is also your spark of creation, chosen one, stirring you to build something lasting. You're not here to just exist, you're here to create, to leave a mark. His voice is the blueprint, whispering ideas, dreams, possibilities. You've felt it, that urge to make something, to share something, to change something. That's Him, calling you to bring His light into the world. Look at Bezalel, filled with God's Spirit to craft the tabernacle. His hands turned God's voice into beauty, into a place of worship. You've got that same gift. Maybe it's art, words, a business, a kindness. His voice is sparking something in you, something only you can create. Don't ignore it. Let it flow, and watch what you build. What's He stirring in you? A vision, a project, a way to serve. Don't hold it back. Listen to His voice and start creating. It doesn't need to be perfect, just faithful. His words are your inspiration, your guide. Your spirit's ready to make something beautiful, something eternal. Your spirit's not just creating, it's transforming. God's voice is turning your ideas into impact, your efforts into legacy. You've doubted your gifts before, haven't you? Thought they weren't enough, but His voice says they are. You're not just building, you're shaping the world, one act, one creation at a time. God's voice is your cornerstone, chosen one, the foundation on which your life is built. You've felt the ground shift beneath you, haven't you? Times when nothing seemed certain, when the world felt unsteady. But His voice is solid, unchanging, a rock you can stand on. It's not just words, it's truth, anchoring you to a purpose that won't crumble. Your spirit's ready to build on that foundation, to rise into something unshakable. Think of Solomon, tasked with building God's temple. He didn't start with his own wisdom. God's voice gave him the vision, the clarity, the strength. Every stone laid was a response to that voice, creating something that stood for generations. You're building too, a life, a legacy, a testimony. His voice is your guide, showing you where to place each piece. Trust it and build. What's the foundation you're laying? Maybe it's faith after doubt, trust after betrayal, hope after loss. God's voice is your blueprint, steady and clear. Listen for it in prayer, in quiet moments, in the truths that hit your heart. It's not about having every piece now. It's about starting where you are. Your spirit's ready to build something lasting. Your spirit's not just building, it's establishing. God's voice is setting you up to stand firm, to create something that endures. You've felt shaky before, haven't you? Unsure if you could hold it together. But His voice is your strength, your stability. You're not just laying stones, you're creating a legacy that will outlast you. God's voice is also your wind, chosen one, pushing you forward when you feel stuck. Life can feel heavy, like you're caught in place, unable to move, but His voice is a breeze, gentle yet strong, urging you to keep going. It's not about forcing your way, it's about letting His breath carry you. Your spirit's ready to sail, to catch His wind and move toward your calling. Look at Ezekiel in the valley of dry bones. God's voice told him to speak, to prophesy life into what was dead. That breath, that wind, brought bones to life. His voice is doing the same for you, breathing life into what feels dry, moving you when you feel stuck. You're not stagnant. His wind is stirring, pushing you toward what's next. What's holding you still? A fear, a doubt, a situation that feels lifeless, God's voice is your wind, bringing movement, life, possibility. Speak His truth over it, pray it, believe it. His breath is in you, filling your sails. Let it carry you forward, your spirit's ready to move, to glide into new horizons. Your spirit's not just moving, it's soaring. God's voice lifts you beyond what weighs you down, setting your course for places you've only dreamed of. You've felt grounded before, haven't you? Tied to the ordinary. But His voice is your freedom, your wings. You're not stuck, you're rising, carried by His wind. God's voice is your lens, chosen one, sharpening your view of the world. Life can blur details, get lost in the rush, the pain, the noise, but His voice brings focus, showing you what matters, what's true. It's not about seeing everything at once. It's about seeing clearly, moment by moment. Your spirit's ready to look through His lens, to see the beauty He's revealing. Think of Bartimaeus, blind by the roadside, crying out to Jesus. The crowd tried to silence him, but God's voice heard him, called him. When he answered, his eyes opened not just to the world, but to a new life. That's what His voice does for you. It opens your eyes, shows you truth. You're not blind to your purpose anymore. His voice is your clarity. What's clouding your vision? Confusion, fear, the opinions of others? Let God's voice be your lens. Ask Him to show you the truth about yourself, your path, your calling. His words don't just comfort, they reveal. Look through them and see the world as He does. Your spirit's ready to see clearly, to walk in truth. Your spirit's not just seeing, it's perceiving. God's voice is tuning your heart, sharpening your senses to His reality. You've been distracted before, haven't you? Caught up in what doesn't matter. But His voice brings you back, focuses you on what's eternal. You're not just looking, you're understanding, living from His truth. God's voice is also your rhythm, chosen one, setting the beat of your days. The world's pace is frantic, pulling you to rush, to stress, to lose yourself. But His voice has a different tempo, steady, purposeful, alive. It's not about keeping up, it's about moving with Him. When you follow His rhythm, your life flows, not forces. Your spirit's ready to dance to His beat. Look at David, playing his harp for Saul. God's voice was in his music, bringing peace to a troubled king. That rhythm wasn't just sound, it was God's presence, calming, healing. Your life carries that same rhythm when you listen. His voice sets the pace, brings order to your chaos. You're not racing, you're moving with grace. What's throwing off your rhythm? The pressure to do more, be more? God's voice is your tempo, calling you back to His pace. Find it in prayer, in rest, in the moments you choose Him over the noise. His rhythm is your peace, your strength. Follow it and watch your days align. If this is speaking to you, don't stay quiet. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen ones moving with God's rhythm. Your support keeps this message flowing, touching lives that need His voice. You're not just hearing, you're helping others find the beat. God's voice is your spark, chosen one, lighting a fire in your soul that draws others in. You've felt alone sometimes, haven't you? Like your light doesn't matter, but His voice says it does. It's not just for you, it's for the world. His words make you a beacon, shining in places that need hope. Your spirit's ready to glow, to pull others toward His light. Think of John the Baptist, a voice in the wilderness, calling people to prepare for Jesus. He wasn't the main event, but his voice mattered, drawing crowds to truth. You're a voice too, not loud maybe, but powerful. His voice in you draws people, changes them, points them to something bigger. You're not alone, you're leading. Who's in your wilderness? A friend who's lost, a family member who's struggling. God's voice in you is their light. Speak His truth, live it, show it. You don't need to be perfect, just faithful. His voice makes you a spark, igniting hope in others. Your spirit's ready to shine, to draw them in. Your spirit's not just shining, it's transforming. God's voice is making you a force, a light that doesn't just glow but changes what it touches. You've doubted your impact before, haven't you? Thought you were too small. But His voice says you're enough. You're not just a spark, you're a flame, spreading His warmth, His truth. God's voice is also your anchor, chosen one, holding you fast when life pulls you adrift. You've felt the currents, haven't you? Waves of doubt, fear, change, trying to sweep you away. But His voice is steady, a tether that keeps you grounded. It's not about avoiding the waves, it's about knowing they can't take you. Your spirit's ready to hold fast, to trust His voice. Look at Peter, sinking in the water, crying out to Jesus. The storm was real, but God's voice was stronger. "Come," He said, and Peter walked until he doubted. But even then, His voice reached out, pulled him up. That's what His voice does for you. It holds you, lifts you, keeps you safe. You're not sinking. His voice is your anchor. What's pulling you under? A worry? A loss? A storm you can't control? God's voice is your lifeline. Speak His promises. Cling to His truth. It's not about calming the storm, it's about standing firm in it. His voice is your strength, your safety. Hold on and let it keep you steady. Your spirit's not just holding, it's thriving. God's voice is filling you with resilience, with peace that doesn't waver. You've been tossed by waves before, haven't you? But you're still here. That's Him, anchoring you, making you stronger than the storm. You're not just surviving, you're standing, unshaken in His strength. God's voice is your compass, chosen one, guiding you through the fog of life's choices. You've stood at crossroads, haven't you? Wondering which way to go, what's right. His voice is clear, a steady guide pointing you to truth. It's not about knowing every turn, it's about trusting the one who does. Your spirit's ready to follow, to find the path He's set. Think of Abraham, told to leave his home for a land God would show him. No map, no details, just a voice. He went, and his faith became a nation. You're on that same journey. His voice is leading you, not to what's safe, but to what's promised. Listen and take the step. Your spirit's ready to walk where He leads. What's your next step? A choice, a risk, a leap of faith? God's voice is your direction. Ask Him to speak through prayer, through His word, through the quiet. His guidance is sure, tailored to you. Follow it and watch the path open. You're not lost, you're led.